Alright, guys. We've got BYUN in the top right side of the map up against CHAM in the bottom left. It's the round of 8, the quarterfinals here in today's PiGosaur Weekly Cup. And I'm curious to see how these two clash. CHAM is known for greed, knowing for cutting corners and trying to get away with it. He's going to be going for a gasless opening or just pull before gas. Okay, interesting. Pull before gas there, wants to get his queens out as fast as possible and not as stressed about getting the very early Zergling speed going. BYUN, of course, does not like to SCV scout when he can get away with it. He's going to be confident here just going for that Reaper expand. Very typical opening for the Terran. I think this map is going to be fascinating. I imagine CHAM probably plays Roaches. I just think Roaches are the safest thing. They kind of match CHAM, a guy who likes to only build 3 to 5 queens in total. Doesn't really spread a crazy amount of creep. He looks to be very greedy, get up to that big drone count, and then just overwhelm you with masses of numbers. BYUN could either hit very sharp timing attacks, or if it goes past that early middle stage, I think he might have to turtle towards the late game a little bit, because I don't think CHAM's going to be willing to really engage in like an even late game with BYUN. I imagine BYUN would be favored there. Oh my, I just realized, guys, we did put up our TvZ guide, and I think I forgot to link the videos in the description of that. Let me do that after this game. Ratjar just reminded me by hitting up that ZVZ command in the Twitch chat. I think I did that video. Oh gosh, silly piggy. Silly piggy. Classic piggy. Does guide, doesn't actually put the thing in. The links to the other guides that back it up. Reaper is going to poke around. Looks for the creep tumor with 2 queens. There's no way he can get in. Very safe creep tumor timing. Third hatchery is well timed as well. Obviously completely pulled off gas. He is missing injects in the main, but he's only just getting energy back now. So you can see this is actually really well timed. Comes down, guards the creep tumor, and then he can go back to injecting in that main. Oh, there we go. Nicely done. Second gas, Tech Lab, Starport. Hellion production gets delayed a little bit there because it's all about getting those Banshees out nice and fast to keep the Terran 3 command center build safe. BYUN's playing about as standard as he possibly could. It's not that this is a disrespectful thing, it's just nothing out of the ordinary. And I think as he feels CHAM out as an opponent, he's just going to do that. Stick to the standard play, then carry it forward from there. Can you tell what I started watching during the ad break? Absolutely, Ratjar. Yeah, I didn't put those in the description, right? I think I forgot to. Please remind me after this game if you can. Hey, Reaper does go down. Not a bad snipe. I think you're happy to trade a creep tumor for the Reaper. Just removes a little bit of the annoyance here. A few less hit points, a little bit less damage if he drives in again. We are building 6 queens, is CHAM. And he's gone Ling speed. So he is playing a bit more standard than I expected. Then again, he doesn't start more queens soon. 6 queens is definitely on the lower end. Fake cloak gets upgraded here. Look at that, guys. He sees the Overlord coming. He wants to pretend he's making cloak to force spores and overseers and all this sort of stuff. He did build only 1 Banshee. And look at that. And now the Overlord's gone. Waits a few seconds because it takes about 2 seconds for the death vision. The vision of a unit lasts for 1 or 2 seconds after it dies. Cancels it. And he goes for a Raven. Wow, BYUN. What's the efficient creep cleanup? Yeah, only 6 queens and 14 Zerglings. It doesn't get greedier than this, guys. He's going to go into Roaches, though. I guess the Roach Horn provides some modicum of safety. She's going to get pushed away as well. Double eBay comes in. Extra barracks goes up. So that's going to be 4 barracks he's heading towards. Definitely not going to have the crispest, like, stim marine tank timings or anything like that. I think this factory's, yeah, meant to swap around here. And indeed, there we go. He will build his 5th barracks on this reactor, I believe. Bit of an odd order. It feels like BYUN might be kind of ad-libbing this a little. He'll build a reactor on the starport, barracks on there. Notice you don't pump medevacs early, guys. You really don't want to pump medevacs early. You just want to focus on getting the economy up. Getting the 5 barracks on the reactors, the factory, and then you think about building the reactor with the starport. Because otherwise, a lot of low-level players, mid-level players, they end up with like 6 medevacs for 10 Marines. And the Marines don't even have all their upgrades and stuff. It's important to get your Marine production going, your Marine upgrades all going, and then you can start pounding out 5 barracks of Marines with reactors and also 2 medevacs at a time, and it'll balance out pretty well in terms of the numbers. BYUN and CHAM are kind of closely matched, says chat. Well, it's interesting because I think they'll always have good games. I imagine BYUN always comes out on top, almost always in a best of 3, best of 5 series, but I think CHAM probably takes plenty of maps here and there. But we'll kind of see what his mindset is. Like, is CHAM willing to just play an honorable front-on macro game? I don't think so. I imagine he goes for a roach timing, tries to catch BYUN out, and with CHAM's macro, you could do that. Ah, those Marines too strong, man. I think you got 2 Marines go down, loses his Zerglings though. But 1-1 Roach is on the way. I would have loved to see him keep the Lings alive. I just think the more things Terran has to worry about on their side of the map, the more their attention's off when these Roaches spring to action, dive through the middle and try to kill you. Which is exactly what they'll be doing. Oh, double auto turret goes to the snipe. Good pullback. Focus the Raven. Focus the Raven. As long as you get the Raven, it's worth losing a few queens. Gets the Raven. He's going to take out a Hellion or 2. But remember, when you only build 6 queens, you are vulnerable, like I said. But he's got the Roach Ravager going through the middle. If he can get on top of these tanks early, just got to group the Roaches. If he can run in and snipe a tank, that'll be big. The medevac is there. Hellions are driving in. They're going to take out a couple of drones. I don't think you care too much as CHAM. I think you're okay. If you can catch him, but the Banshee sees it. He's got to go. The tanks have siege. The Marines are in front. The Bile spread. And he actually gets it with the Bile spread. CHAM. Nice Biles. And he's actually droned up. But guess what, guys? He's got to go 2 gases infestation pit. If he's not all inning, and I don't think he is, I think he's realized this is, he's just going to bile the depot from out of tank range. And you can see BYUN's like, this is an all in. I've just got to survive. And to be fair, the upgrades kind of slow the +2 carry. It is a pretty committed attack for CHAM. But seeing the SCVs, it might be time to pull back, spread some biles across and just chill. Might be the way to do it. Eats one of his own biles. He's got, yeah, he gets 14 SCVs, so you could argue that's a decent trade, but you can't lose your army. He spreads the biles decently, but he needed to do them deep. You have to kind of bile even on your own front line, because the Terran will come forward, but actually he wins the fight. He holds the Ravagers. Some of them do die. Some survive. That was a good fight. Really good fight. Gets 23 workers. Beautiful fight. He's on his way to Hive. He does need to remember +2 range, and he needs to go for anti-air. In this scenario, it's not a frontal tank push. It's Marine drops killing your bases that you have to worry about. So for CHAM, he could go Lurker, Viper. Hydra is one thing. He's going to go Baneling. So he's going to probably swap into Ultras. He goes melee. Okay, that's fine. Melee works as well. Yeah. I would love to see an Infestor or 2, because that's the best for catching drops of medevacs. You build 2 Infestors here. You know he's going to go snipe your 5th. This always happens. Every time, if you get ahead economically, Terrans maybe a bit ahead on tech, they always go to snipe your new expansion. Every single time, the Zerg loses it as well, even though they know this is coming. If you guys want to become a king of these sort of Roach styles, learn to stop losing all of your bases afterwards. The trick to that is Infestors, because if you land, you always don't show anything, don't show any units coming. Infestor comes out of the fog, lands the fungal. The rest of your army jumps on top. You get a second fungal with the second Infestor. You kill 16 Marines. And from that point on, Terran has to be much more paranoid about how they harass you. Ooh, Lings move out of the main. This hatchery's dead. There's no way. There's no way CHAM defends that, right? Oh, maybe. He's trying to build more Zerglings now. The Lings will be able to kill 0 units. 1. Okay, 2 Marines finally die. Bile in the middle would be nice. Okay, good Bile. Gonna force the pick up there. Damages the medevac as well. Ultra Cavern and 2 Vipers are on the way. CHAM's in a really good spot in this game, guys. I'm very impressed with how he's playing. Pig, I think you have 2 music tracks. Your face has 2 music tracks, dude. Dude, we've had that all day. Thank you so much, Hyper One. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm going to leave that on. And then we're going to go turn off the other one for the stream. Because this one, the YouTube will be able to hear. So we'll leave this soundtrack on. Oh, good surprise push. CHAM, so distracted by a double drop. So much of his army is distracted and he loses his middle base. Now he cannot afford to lose this base. And yet he's leaving nothing to defend it. Oh no, CHAM's getting picked apart. Guys, he's got to split a control group. He doesn't have a drop defense control group right now. We know CHAM is very much a very F2 heavy player. But he does use control groups. It's just, I'd love to see him split these units down here, because that's the more important space to defend. The main base is actually not as vulnerable. Oh, this is really powerful. Great move by BYUN to get back in this game. BYUN's up on 82 workers. He's actually got a worker lead now. And this is what I would have liked Hydras. I would have loved Hydras just because they have a regular anti-air attack. If you go Hydra Lurker Viper from the position he was in, it would have been sick. Problem, such a big tank count, and ducks don't work on siege tanks anymore. Hydra Lurker Viper transition off of a Roach start, I think has been nerfed pretty badly. BYUN here, being a bit of a dirty boy. But the second parasitic bomb can kill that. I think the first one barely doesn't have enough. Yeah, 12 hit points. You just got to drop it, man. Oh no, Cham's not doing it. Yeah, you can tell Cham, I think, wasn't really mentally prepared for this later stage of the game, and I think he's let a lot of his advantage slip away. Cham is an excellent first 8 minutes of the game player. I do think that's where he does his best work. Generally, I'd say he's not as amazing god tier skill beyond that level, but he's still very good, and I think this is just BYUN being BYUN and being tricksy with his drops, macroing flawlessly behind it. The fact that BYUN's already into ghosts behind and 3 more command centers is so impressive. BYUN really distracting him right now. The lack of regular stable anti-air is a problem. The Spire goes down, has to cancel it, builds a new one. A few drones going down there as well. This is just so frustrating. There's Vipers, one's full of energy, one's only about half, and it feels like Cham's just chasing his own tail around the map. And like I said, it's just the earlier you get some sort of anti-air, the better. If you're going to play this style, if you have a few infestors, at any point, he's got to scan with these drops, because if an infestor comes out, throws a fungal, there's very little time for Terran to respond, and that's why I think infestors, if you play this style first, you can still go Vipers later, is better. But alternatively, you go for the Roach Hydra Lurker Viper. But like as I said, I think a lot of people have lost faith in that since the abduct change. That made the Viper not able to abduct tanks in tank mode, which has annoyed a lot of people. Cham going up to 87 workers, but he's still got 22 roaches, so Cham's max out sucks, guys. Would have liked to see him hit a timing much earlier. And now without Fungal to deal with the ghosts as well. That's why having a few infestors left over is great, because then if you catch these ghosts at one point, it's amazing. Can't abduct, says Cham. He forgot. He tried to abduct the tank, and then he realized, he's like, oh shit, I can't abduct. And BYUN's just like, yeah, you don't, you know that patch has been out for a long time. BYUN's just like, yeah, it's stupid, I know. I think he's kind of, yeah, I know it's dumb. Obviously, could have just corrosive bioled it, blinding clouded it if you wanted it to not shoot him at the same time. Cham's lead has slipped away. This is interesting because Cham also got way ahead against Ateshi, and I think he lost his lead against Ateshi. He ended up winning that game quite confidently, but as I said, that was a player he's much stronger than. I think Cham really has deep understanding of the first 8 minutes of StarCraft, and there's a lot of little details he does that are some of the best in the world, but he definitely has always been that Su-style player, and one of the big features of Su is that he was one of the greatest players in StarCraft to never have any good late game. And no offense to Su, I think it's an honest assessment. He had some of the worst late game out of all the top pros for many years. And that made him such an expert at winning in the mid game, right? But you know, these depots need to lower, otherwise none of the tanks, they'll get stuck over here. They'll all drive over and get stuck here and here. So hopefully he does realize BYUN and lower those depots. What about Shin? Shin actually occasionally has good late game. Occasionally. Yeah, Shin occasionally has quite good late game. He doesn't use it that much, but Su is like another level of like, I'm going to kill you with an 8-minute headbutt and that's it. Shin has some overlap with that style, but not quite the same. +42 Zerglings, +3 melee, +2 range on the way. Rounding out the upgrades, double Spire coming in. Now, in the end game, you got to get rid of these roaches. We're getting into end game. Your supply cap's a problem. The fact that there's still 17 roaches in the army is a huge mistake for Cham. At this point, you're better off just killing your own roaches. It is 34 supply of hot garbage. He's also got 12 supply of Ravagers. Guys, that's 46 supply of units that are near worthless engaging these Terran units head on. Now, you are playing BYUN, so Broodlords are one of the best ways to win late game because BYUN famously overly relies on siege tanks, but because there's been no pressure from Cham since that early roach push, BYUN's actually only got 10 tanks. Normally he has like 17 at this point. And he's got 2 reacted factories and 2 tech labs, so he can build mines, blue flame hellbats, whatever he wants. Oh, big attack, big attack. Sorry guys, does get a command center there, gets a siege tank. My bad for not catching that. I wasn't expecting an actual play. Turrets moving out as well. BYUN gives up the command center. I don't know if he lost much else down there. There's a PF. Units lost tab 2,000, 2,500 in BYUN's favor. How much energy does abduct cost? 75, 100 for Blinding Cloud. I feel like Max Back's late game is also pretty meh. So this is kind of like Maxpax's late game is nowhere near as good as the rest of his game. He clearly is like weaker there, but that's like end game. Like Sue would fall off past the early game, like literally by the middle or end of the mid game, you'd be like, oh, this is getting dangerous. But the moment you're in like the middle of the late game, Sue would be like kind of dead in the water tactically. So Maxpax has a bit of a fall off. It's nothing like Sue's rate, but there's similarity in different strengths for different players. The roaches are a big problem. So this is the problem Cham's having, guys. Those roaches are always not going to die. They're just going to run in behind the Ling Bane. And this is a huge, like, supply management is one of the least emphasized and talked about skills in late game StarCraft. It's so important. You can't have 46 supply and garbage units. Even the Ravagers, I would get rid of personally because I think they're trash. Pros sometimes do get good value out of them. Oh, Viper gets sniped. He gets the tank with the piles, but like the Vipers have both been sniped now. 2 Vipers get rebuilt. There's no infestors, no burrow on the map. This is the sort of game you want to have creep everywhere. You want to be mining both of these corners because that's what the weakness of Terran on Tourmaline is. It's hard to get to the corners. This is where Serral beat Maru in late game, even in that series which he ended up losing at Pigfest. Epic games, you know, but this map, it's hard for Terran to get to these corners. So you want to surround them in creep, get spores and spines in these middle areas, get rid of these roaches. You can use broodlords, especially now, as the tanks are being double produced. Double armory upgrades there as well, but you got to have burrowed infestors out in these areas as well. I think BYUN's getting to so many command centers. The window for that's closing. There's 11 orbitals up. Oh my lord. 11 orbitals, guys. Oh my god, this is like when you're like, oh, I don't know if I can afford to eat here. And they're like, why not? The steak's only $400. And you're like, what? That's my point. And they're like, yeah. Like, I don't understand. Why can't you afford a $400 steak? Like, have you guys ever been eating out with people that are so far outside of your class that they're flabbergasted? They're like, why don't you just get your dad's credit card or some shit to pay for it if you don't have the money? Why don't you just... What's going... I don't understand. Why don't you use your black Amex card? What the fuck's wrong with you, you know? That's where it gets to in these later stages. 11 orbitals is kind of insane, man. Chat says BYUN's got to drop some SCVs. He has too many. Oh, he has way too many as well. I mean, he's not got too much pressure on him. Well, actually, now this base mining out might be a bit of pressure. He should drop down to about 50 or 60 as well. With this many orbitals up. Oh, ho, ho! Good trade for BYUN, but honestly, I think it's better for CHAM because his roaches are dying, and he needs to get rid of these roaches. They're so trash. Still got 5 roaches, but he got rid of the Ravagers as well. BYUN doesn't realize that was actually helping the Zerg. Viper's pulling back a bit, which is a good move. Pull back, double back. Gonna get EMP'd, gonna get EMP'd. Ooh, but BYUN was too busy running, wasn't focusing on the EMP, and the Thors get surrounded. Nice fight for CHAM. Big dick CHAM. Not many other ways to commentate that. Some people would say, oh, Pig, why are you so crass? I was like, mate, did you see what he did to those Thors? Fucking got him, didn't he? Punched him in the dick. Can you imagine that? Like, if you guys imagine, if you ever get 3 Thors surrounded, it's basically like you and 2 of your best friends are out for a night drinking. But then somehow, out of nowhere, 46, like 6-year-olds run up. One of them pants as one of your buddies. You guys are like, what's happening? And as you're like turning around flabbergasted, they all just start punching you in the crotches repeatedly. And like they all pull your pants around your ankles, so you're all tripping over. There's like 46 children just punching you in the crotch. That's Thor's getting surrounded by Zerglings. Like you'd think, obviously one-on-one, the Zerglings can't do anything against a Thor. If a child tried to punch you in the crotch, you'd be fine. But when there's like 46 of them, and you guys have had a few drinks, dude, it's tough. Wingbane Corruptor coming forwards. Gonna try and go for the surround. Liv's going down. Tanks as well. Ghosts are in nice positioning. Blinding Cloud's pretty good here. Banelings need to get on that command center, take it out quick, because the mass repair is really good. He's got to get rid of the command center. He's got to click it. Okay, command center does go down. 27 workers as well. CHAM loses a lot. Does trade about 3,000 worse there, but clearing the planetary is good. He's got to deny this top left at the same time, though. I think he should have been already a bit more aggressive about spreading creep and trying to mine. You can tell CHAM has kind of just accepted. He's got creep further than he normally gets it, and he says, that's fine. I think there should be creep here. I think there should be creep here. Yeah, you know, like, I think this is one of those things, just the passive vision you get from creep. I'd also like to see a few more overseers. I don't really, you guys know I'm not the biggest fan of rogue style. I think it's a little cancerous to just send 1,000 free changelings. I mean, it's good to do. Obviously, it's good, but I wouldn't do it myself. At least be, you know, 6, 7 overseers, be dropping changelings and getting spotters everywhere. Because CHAM's a little blind right now. And look at this, BYUN's crawling to the corner with a planetary. It's not about securing a good mining base. He just wants to deny CHAM's base here. Now, it's kind of unsupported. It probably is an easy snipe here. The Corruptors could just make wee-wee on it. I think that's one of the better things he could do. Banes do not want to take this fight! Okay, good pull away. The Lings will take out the Planetary. I would have loved to see the Corruptors just make wee-wee on that Planetary. I think that would have been one of the nicest ways to do it. Go Tinkle. Oh! 46 children! And bam! The Thor gets punched. Hot damn, dude. Like I said, man. Like, if you could have... Or especially if they're not really children, because, like, children are afraid of things and are wimpy. But if you've got, like, children-sized zombies, I guess, that are, like, not afraid of pain and stuff, that's, like, dangerous. They're fast, they're small, they've got a low center of gravity. And if they don't fear pain and they're just, like, YOLO punching you in the crotch, you're in big trouble. Ghosts in the open. Parasitic Bomb goes down, but no Corruptors, unfortunately. No way to stop the pickup. And not many Corruptors to deal with the Libs either. Ultra Bane gets a good first fight, but I think he's got to pull back now. I think chasing there would be a big mistake. And I've got to say, where's the Corruptors, guys? 14 more being built now. That is the correct thing to do. Thor killed the Corruptors. Yeah, but he's only lost 3 this game, right? So he just never built enough. I think you should always, at this point, have at least 8 Corruptors, if not more, because look how many Libs there are. And he's going to go up to 15, which arguably is too many, but I think it's fine as long as your Ultra Bane chases everything else away. And then you just turn and run, and you let your Corruptors kill a whole bunch of Libs and Medivacs in the meantime. BYUN is being wildly impatient in this game, I think, says chat. That's an interesting choice. I think his worker count's down to a much better count, and his army supply is really good. And I think as long as he denies this base, he's good. But I agree that he's throwing units away up there. And this should not be out here. This is nonsense, right? He does not need to be outside this base. He should just wall this off with extra buildings, Planetary. Top left, Ghost getting jumped on. He does pick up and save them. The Corruptors aren't here yet. I think this was an opportunistic dive for CHAM, and one which is a bit sloppy. He's got to... His Corruptors are also on his main army key, which I'm not a big fan of. He leaves the Libs wide open there, and BYUN's going to attack both corners at once. This is basically just a multitasking task for CHAM. If CHAM can split his army half and half, fighting in small armies favors Zerg. This is inefficient play where basically BYUN says, I don't think you're good enough at multitasking. I think I can out-multitask you. This is not the correct way to play. It is not the optimal way to play, but it is the way BYUN is choosing to play. And that it makes things fun. If he's playing Serral, I would go, this is where you throw the game. Why are we splitting into both corners? There is, like normally Zerg is desperate to fight away from a centralized massive Terran. By splitting half your army to this corner, half your army to this corner, both away from the entrenched position, you are offering the Zerg the engage that they've been hunting for, and of course CHAM is happy to take it. Corruptors smashing the Libs, Ultraling Bane gets on top. He won't be able to get those Medivacs, but he still catches a lot of Marauders. He's going to go after, gets one of the Medivacs. The other one does go down. The Lingbane Ultra is still there. Good trade for CHAM. I think this is a pretty damn good trade for CHAM. He's got a lot of money in the bank as well. The Corruptors are massacring the Libs. He'll lose all of his army as long as he gets these Libs up top. Oh my god, CHAM. CHAM. Gotta get these Libs, man. So many free Libs. Oh, BYUN stopping a fight is a bit of a mistake. Now, BYUN does deny the bottom right. He's got your 2 drunk buddies there. Do deny that Thor. Corruptor's got to be careful about chasing. But that unit's lost. It's only 8,000 in favor of BYUN, which usually isn't good enough when you've spent 43,000 minerals on command centers. You've lost 3 command centers, 3 planetaries. You've built 11 more orbitals. You've got 5 more planetaries. The amount of money that Terran invests in infrastructure, people often go, oh, why is Terran always so efficient, so unfair? And I'm like, yeah, just remember, Zerg infrastructure is pretty cheap. There's a couple spores, a couple gases that cost 25 minerals, 75 minerals for the spores, a couple hatcheries, creep tomb is free. Zerg ends up having more money in the army. And that's dying more. But also it can move around. The buildings in the back can't really fight. They can't secure area. So as efficient as Terran is, sometimes we get a kind of slightly incorrect view on just how efficient they actually are. Infestor goes forward, looks for the fungal. This is not a good fight. Can't be chasing in there. He's got Infestors on the high ground though. Oh, cute move! CHAM! CHAM! Absolutely CHAM-tastic play. But chasing now could turn very inefficient as those ghosts get behind. Do they have enough energy? The snipes are going to be brutal, man. Oh my god, the Infestor's kind of derp in there as well. As I said, CHAM's control groups are always a bit sloppy, I would say. Most players are, to be fair. You guys know, I think most players' control groups are a bit sloppy. Does chase a bit further than I would have liked to see. I still think these moves are probably good because if he can... I mean, the problem is he lost the bottom right. He's not many minerals left there. If he keeps the top left, I think this is probably okay. It's so close, though. This game is still so close. The tail end of that fighting between the command centers was rough. I'd love to see him rotate south. Obviously, I know he doesn't want to give up the top left right now because it's the most important base, but I actually think if he breaks this position, it would be so huge. It looks unassailable, and yet it's the correct move, but not if you're being tracked. BYUN sees him coming, which means he can't do it. Maybe blowing up this planetary with just ultras and pulling back could be good, but he figures, oh, there's going to be ghost snipes. You can see there's very few ghost snipes. It's like literally 7 Thors and 8 ghosts without much energy. Right now, BYUN is actually really weak. If CHAM had map hacks, maybe he just headbutts again and just overwhelms when there's not many snipes and EMPs. Of course, we know that he doesn't. And that's the reason. A lot of Zergs think, oh, this isn't working. Let's stop headbutting. And they're one attack away from breaking him. But CHAM's going to go. He says, you're coming into the open. You want to fight? You want to dance, dickhead? Let's go. Ultra's trying to get on top. A few snipes do land. The Thor's getting jumped on. Pretty good surface area with those Ultras. A few on the left side do derp out there for a little bit. Some Lings coming in. Great fight here for CHAM. CHAM mauls him. The Corruptors need to go south. The Ultras need to get on top of the tanks, not the planetary. The Corruptors need to get out of there. We're staying a bit too long. Tail end of these fights. Always a bit dirty for CHAM, aren't they? They're always a little dirty. Now, this 12 Ultra Remax, guys, is this the right call? I feel like there should be a lot more Zerglings in the mix. Maybe a couple Banes. See what happens. Why no Blinding Clouds? So Viper is a spellcaster that uses Blinding Cloud. He didn't have any guys. He didn't rebuild him. He's only got one Infested. CHAM's focusing on more of an A-move army right now. Blinding Clouds would have been amazing there, but I think the stress of the game, he's trying to do it with just a meaty ground army of kind of Ling Corruptor Baneling. And I think you're absolutely right that a few Blinding Clouds against these setups would be game-changing. BYUN is in survival mode. Broodlords could also maybe be decent because there's Thors and Vikings out as well as the Ghosts. He's kind of worried about it. The Orbitals, of course, do have unlimited vision, guys. Remember, there's 11 Orbitals in this game, which is a lot. The Ghosts are going to come forward. Fungal! Does break the attempt to snipe that Infestor. Bit brave for BYUN. BYUN probably should have dropped the EMP instead. Gets a snipe on the Ultra. I don't like cornering your army the way CHAM is. He's gonna go for it. The building wall trying to block. Is it enough? 12 Ultralisks say welcome to town. But the Ultras, they need to target the command centers. If they just click the command centers, they will get through. Those command centers are almost dead. The snipes are good. BYUN putting up a heroic defense, and I think he might just barely have enough. Those Orbitals may have saved his bacon. Oh my god, great positioning. The Corruptors, there's nothing for them to shoot. And CHAM, I just don't think that was quite the right fight, guys. Imagine a Viper. Imagine 1 or 2 Blinding Clouds. I think that could have been it. Oh, but look at this. Now BYUN's stealing his minerals. He's going to get rid of the hatchery. This is it, dude. BYUN's out of minerals. He literally needs to win with this army. CHAM still has minerals mining in the bottom left. If he kept this base up, he was good. CHAM's on his last Remax. 8 Ultras, 5 Infestors, and a bunch of Zerglings. BYUN has a lot of Hellbats, so the Zerglings are nearly worthless. BYUN, his minerals are 2 patches down here. It's 500 minerals, plus a few patches of 25 minerals per trip he's getting from the top left. Oh my gosh. What a game, guys. Dude, CHAM giving us some bangers today, hey. SCVs have been pulled. Drilly boys, assemble! BYUN knows he cannot let CHAM take this top left, but he scans, he sees the orbitals, and he goes, oh god, do we really want to fight with drills against Baneling boys? Meals are going to go back in. Even just stealing the minerals so CHAM can't mine it himself, he might be happy with. You don't want to sacrifice Banelings on these guys, though. Whoo, what a game! He's building roaches, guys. What in the world is he building roaches for? Is that for corrosive bile? I guess they're a very gas-heavy unit. 100 minerals, 100 gas. And they're not bad against, like, tanks and libs. Oh, interesting. In a low economy scenario, when you've got unlimited gas... So gas is a non-issue. Is 100 minerals for a Ravager a good investment? Maybe. He goes for it. Here we go, guys. The final fight to decide it all. The Infestors get hit by EMP. The army's fading away, and I think most of his army's stuck. CHAM, he's not getting the fight he needs, I don't think. Oh, he lands a fungal. The Ultras are on top. The Ultras are on top. Maybe he is getting the fight he needs. The Ghosts are going down. They don't have energy either way. They don't have the energy. CHAM busts through. Wow, the Ghosts were out of energy there. He busts through. Too many Ultras on the dance floor, guys. How many Ultras did he lose in this game? How many Ultras did he lose in the making of this game? At the end of that game, he has lost 46 Ultralisks. Whoo! Hot damn. 13 Thors, 33 tanks, 22 libs, and 39 Ghosts. These numbers seem kind of pretty, don't they? I don't know. There's something about all these numbers. 100 SCVs exactly. Very nice. Sick game 1. All right, guys, beyond in the top right side of the map, CHAM in the bottom left. He's gone for a quick third hatchery there on 28 supply, just after building the Overlord. Classic build order here. And is CHAM going to go Ling Speed again? Looks like he's thinking about it. Getting the quick thirds up nice is good. It's nice so it can't get blocked. There is a guy there on the edge of the waves, man. Dude, that's crazy. This was a surf resort, I believe, this map. Though a bit of a weirdly designed one. There's claw marks on the ground. I imagine some sort of giant creature has gone on a rampage since Washout does seem to be covered in claw marks and bodies now. Second gas and starport goes up. Pretty typical opening for BYUN. I really think BYUN should lean into a sharp timing attack against CHAM. I would love to see him go for a sharp timing attack after that last game. This game, as it gets to the later stages, I don't really know which side would be favored, Terran or Zerg. But as I said, Tourmaline's not bad for Zerg. It's not bad because of those corner bases, and you could see BYUN trying to go to both those corners at once, got himself in trouble. I think BYUN should have been much more careful about walking those buildings forwards, walling off on the way with orbitals. Like, he ended up doing it towards the end. But I think on Tourmaline, that should be the plan from the start, is leapfrog tanks, turrets, libs with buildings landing along the side to block any sort of engagement from the opponent from getting on top. And yeah. 2 Hellions and a Reaper dancing around the south side. Thank you very much, Paradox, with 100 biddies. Appreciate you, mate. All right, Hellions building up, guys. Banshees as well. Flare goes down very early. Ooh. Whoa. We going straight Hydra. Mutas? Hydras? What do you guys think? I'm not sure what this is. It's only 5 queens for now. CHAM always plays low on queens. He must be so weak to Hellbat timings. He's got a Roach one, but it's not a super fast one. I imagine Hellbat timing would be almost a free win against him. I could be overemphasizing and missing something, but 6 queens is just absolutely wildly greedy, and yet he seems to get away with it at such a high consistency. His play does deserve to be studied. Triple gas Roach horn now. Even a 4th gas comes up very early. He wants this 4th down south. There is a semi-gold base. All the exposed edge bases, guys, have 3 gold patches on them. They mine a little bit quicker. It's not that crazy a deal. 40% faster mining on those. Double Evo chamber goes down at 5 minutes as well. CHAM getting everything up at once. Banshee not really getting much. We are going to see a 4th base starts. Probably goes 1-1 before Roach speed. Because you can see the gas here. He's hitting 250 gas as the Evos finish. Timing, baby. Hellions distracting. One of them does go down, though. Creep's being good. +1 range starts. Roach speed should be coming in soon after. He goes for the fight on the queens, and that is a wild choice. I think Raven openings suck, by the way, guys. You guys might wonder, why don't people go Ravens? Then they don't have to scan. And you can see the reason. The queens can just fight the Hellions and the Ravens back. Normally, Hellions are faster than queens, but if they have to wait for the Raven, queens on creep can almost always be there in time, ready to engage with it. Going off creep, a bit dangerous here. Roach speed has not started. That's a real problem. The fact that he's gone Baneley Nest this early, I think Baneley Nest is nearly useless. Super duper early, but it's good to get Baneling speed started, so then you can eventually go Banelings, right? It's not the end of the world, but you got to be careful about focusing too much on that. Great Ling run by. Few Marines stim over, but he gets 2 SCVs, gets a depot cancelled. Very well done there by CHAM, being a nuisance, and got 7 more drones for the 4th building. This is a good start for CHAM yet again, and I feel like CHAM, similar to Sue in the old days, just so good at getting ahead in the early game, and that's why his mid-game timings are so scary. He just cuts corners better than anyone else. What does PT stand for? I think that just means Patches made the map. This map was made by Patches. Be cool if all the map makers did that. We had like KS, Storm Surge and stuff for Killer Smile, KS, Mothership. Killer Smile. Baneling speed starts. Roach Bane, in my opinion, is a bit of an awkward comp, but if you've only got a handful of Roaches and Ravagers, it's fine. So I think he's done this at a decent number. I think 9 Roaches, 3 Ravagers is okay. It's mostly a Ling Bane style. He should be swapping a melee and +2 Carapace. It's if you have like 20+ Roaches, the Ling Bane kind of gets stuck behind the Roaches and it can be hard to sync up. You really need to like sandwich your opponent from 2 sides because otherwise the units just get so awkward. There is an Overlord drop making, guys. I'm not sure if he cancelled that or not. Marines poking around the south. By the way, Harstam says 1-1 Roach players aren't real Zergs, so... Oh, hold on. Queen's going to go down. Does he get the Raven? He could have attacked. If he kept attacking, he would have got the Raven. Always worth trading a Queen for the Raven, but the Hellions get caught anyway, and I think he's doing okay. So BYUN actually got beaten by a fake Zerg, not a real Zerg in that previous match. That's true. To be fair, Roach play, especially if you play full Roach Hydra, it's much slower pace than the Lingbane style of Zerg. It's actually the best way to get started with Zerg while you're learning your fundamentals, because the Lingbane pace definitely amps things up a notch. Same way if you struggle with speed, mech's a bit better for Terran. That's why you don't want to use Blink Stalkers if you're a slower Protoss player. You want to stick to those Robo units, those Zealots. 80 drones against 76, but he moves out, and I feel like CHAM's got to do a good job of dealing with this, and with no mobile anti-air except Queens, the Banshee's actually really annoying, and that Queen should get on top of that. He attacks his own Baneling with the Queen there, and does fix it. Thank you, Lidus, for tuning in. I've never played StarCraft 2, but I enjoy watching your casting. Thank you. It's a great game. StarCraft 2 is a brutally fast game, so it's not for everyone to play, but it does make it fascinating to watch. Tanks, mines, Marines, Raven, Banshee over there. It's got the second factory pumping. Where's that fourth command center? It's almost finished. So BYUN's got a double drop on the south. And now we're going to see this army. Oh, that anti-armor missile. Oh, that's -2 armor on all those units for the next 20 seconds, guys. It's a huge anti-armor missile there. I think CHAM might have to engage while it's active, which is effectively giving an extra +2 upgrades to these Marines. You know what? If they're too busy running from the Banelings to stand and fight, that's okay. Gets rid of the tanks. Does lose a lot of units. But as long as he gets rid of the tanks, and now it's just Biomine. It's Roach Ravager Lingbane. Marines down here do jump on top. You can see he does the Marine, drops the Bile on top of himself. Gets 2-3 Marines, as well as the Roach. Often you got to do that because they try to stutter step on top of you in these scenarios. +2 Carapace not quite ready. Of course, BYUN doing classic BYUN things and finishing his +2 attack well before his +2 armor, sorry, well before attack. Ultra Cavern's on the way. CHAM does not have a lot of gas. He's got 7 gases, but he hasn't started mining off the 7th one. It does feel like the trading's just been out of control this game, where I think BYUN said, hey, as long as I keep the activity rate high, I can just biomine out multitasking, because he did really well with the drops in that last game as well. Raven does derp in and die. Widowmine, number 1 gets a good shot, second not so good. Number 3 gets an amazing shot. 11 Zerglings going down, smearing the front line. Big Baneling counter here, could go in, blow up this planetary, but it's a lot of Banes, not that many regular fighting units. He could blow up in the middle, blows up that command center, gets both. BYUN a little slow to react there. Got to get a few of these units on these SCVs for the real value. Down south, though, BYUN's going to say, you know what the best defense is? A good offense. He says, boys, fix bayonets and charge. Doing that into Lingbane on creep is a madman's decision, but it makes sense. You just saw all the Banelings blow up in your command center and your SCVs. Fixing the bayonets is actually the correct decision. He does lose the Marines on that side, but if you can get all these drones, this may very well be worth it. A lot of units still are up in that medevac, not unloaded, but the Banelings are going to save a good section of them. CHAM down to just 147 supply. Biles will not hit the Banshee. He almost biled his own hatchery, honestly. That was kind of really scary. Widowmine gets a good shot. That's the 11 kill. Widowmine is now on 22 kills. Biles will take out the Banshee, finally. He's down 5,000 in the trading. Ultras are coming in with kindness, but he doesn't have the money to afford Carapace. Whereas 3-3's on the way for Terran. Hatchery has to get cancelled and rebuilt instantly. Marines for BYUN waiting to the last second to pick up. Widowmines are getting taken out here. Good bile micro. Widowmines trying to get saved perhaps by the medevac. Nope. And those Widowmines getting cleared. Well played. Very well played by CHAM. He's down 4,500, close to 5,000. We'll see how we go. Hey Pig, I got pissed off on the ladder. I lost a game, so I dropped the May the Fleas of 1,000 Camels infest your underpants the other day. Dude, I love that. I've been waiting for a moment to say that. I keep forgetting to drop it. How'd the guy respond? Lingbane Ultra Ravager running forwards here. The Bio started stepping away. Ravager Baneling on the left, trying to defend. CHAM's doing a really good job of staying in here. I really felt like the trades were so bad he'd just fall behind. But look at that. Ultra Roach split off to drag the Widowmines away from the Lingbane. Bio Army's going to get that Ultra down pretty quickly. 2 more. Banelings trying to get through here. That Widowmine. Ooh, does mostly friendly fire to the medevacs more than anything else. Bile's trying to take out the mines, but of course it takes 2 Biles, not just 1. And BYUN's done such a good job of kiting all the way home. I think this is kind of CHAM saying, let's just hope I catch him here. But I think his production and his micro is good enough. BYUN holds, and that's a tragic defeat for CHAM. Because there's still a drop on his side, denying his 4th base for the 17th time. And I feel like this is the moment where CHAM absolutely could drop that. May the fleas of 1,000 camels infest your underpants. I think it would be fitting. To be fair, he's not completely dead, but he just can't defend from this double drop. He can't quite find good fights on his side. Gets a few sensor towers there, but loses all the Roach Ravager and that single Ultra on his side. Yeah, jeez. What's with the chase off creep? When you're getting bullied, sometimes you think, maybe I'll catch him. Maybe I'll catch him here. Get a bit excited and say, let's just chase and see if I can get him to make a mistake. He's been getting bullied by BYUN. He's been losing this game. And when you get into bad losing situations, you have to make desperate choices sometimes. Unless you're the far better player than your opponent. In this case, I do think BYUN's a pretty big favorite here. Nice snipe on the planetary, but CHAM doesn't have money, so he actually can't afford trades like this. Even though that's the 4th, it's the most important base for BYUN. You're down 40 supply. CHAM's not going to be able to defend this follow-up push. I don't think so. Hey, Pig, how come many pros don't use cool skins? I think tournaments maybe used to ban some of them. And, I mean, you can see CHAM's using the Simulant Ultralisk. That's a robot Ultralisk. I don't know about his other units. I always use all the Simulant skins. He's using the Simulant Ravager as well. So, yeah, I think he's mostly using the... but I'm not sure why the other players... I think there used to be some tournaments that banned it, and so they just got out of practice. They also haven't been doing spray tags on the ground, which I thought was really fun character, you know, when players would be harassing and spamming funny spray tags in each other's bases with their workers and dancing a bit more. So I think we could do a little bit more of that attitude and definitely some more interesting skins. He's using really boring Marine skins as well. Everyone knows the Marines with the Mohawk and like the skull painted on its helmet visor is like the best one. All right, triple drop in the main. I think we're just waiting for CHAM to die here. He's got no map control. He's lost his 5th now, even though his 4th is back up. The drop's just going to kill an Ultra before he picks up and leaves. BYUN just says, yeah, why not? Oh my god, he messes up his micro really badly there. Okay, that was unnecessary, but BYUN is rich. He can replace it. Looks like he also lost these units up north. He's got new command centers coming out. He's just so far ahead on army supply. Gets another cancel on the base. The double lib here will get cleared by the Ravagers. Fungal's pretty decent. He could fungal that again. That's a very low medevac, and it's worth it. Oh, he biles himself. Stop biling yourself. He got the full medevac with the fungal anyway, so it's all good. There's Widow Mines here, 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 and here. There's about 10 Widow Mines spread across this map. Hard to clear those up. Can't even afford Overseers right now. This is rough. I think not making Corrupt is a big mistake. So I'll put them in the medevac and run away, then redrop is so annoying. Fungal's actually better than Corruptors for doing that, because you're going to go Infestation anyway on your way to Hive. If you went like 3 or 4 Infestors, it's a one-stop shop, and then you never lose them, and it punishes way harder, because 3 or 4 Corruptors isn't going to stop them. You need to get a good pack of Corruptors, so you need a big economy to support Corruptors. I agree Corruptors are amazing, but they are a luxury. If you rush for them too early, and then you lose the ground fight, you will get ruined. And CHAM was kind of hanging on, you know, not that closely as it was. So I would say the failure here is not getting to a position where he could go Corruptors, and I think a few Infestors early, when he first was going up to Hive, would have been so good for that. And I think that's the best way to play this style in general. I think a lot of the time Zergs would just rather have an easier to play style, that if you put the effort into using these fungal styles, they are much better. Of course, fungal on its own isn't going to defend this triple drop, and he's just kind of running out of units and resources here, so this will be BYUN pushing him out of this game. I'm impressed that he's going to kill another command center, dude. Fungal Baneling will kill all the repairing SCVs. The Ultras should be able to finish that off. Still only 1-2 upgrades on these Ultras, and actually the Bio comes in and saves the day. Very well done. That should be GG. You know what they say, guys? Fleas of 1,000 camels. Very well played there. BYUN does win the game. Somehow CHAM restrains himself from using the insult that I would have gone for. GG, well played. Great play for BYUN. It's tied up 1-1. All right, guys. Sorry, we had to have a break there because my wife brought me freshly reheated chili that I cooked the other day. Chili and rice, by the way. Chat was having a bit of an argument about it. Some people were like, you have to have it with cornbread. No, you got to have it with hard bread. No, you got to have it with hardtack. You got to have it with saltine crackers. And then a bunch of people on my side going, dude, just with rice is like the easiest and most... It's lovely with different types of bread, crusty bread or whatever, or cornbread. But I ain't making either of those at home. And rice in the rice cooker, nice and easy. Anyways, Cham in the top right side. 3 hatch, doing a bit of a little lingy floody. So he kind of wants BYUN to move out and then run in. Problem is, BYUN's done a reacted barracks build. These builds hard counter this build. Unless you wait for the medevac to leave. But I don't think Cham has the information to know that's what's happening. He doesn't. If he goes in before the medevac leaves, I don't think he can get any real damage. Oh, though the command center is a bit exposed. That's a bit exposed. Maybe he can cancel the CC. Depot's not down yet. Click the CC. Click the command center is the move. That's the move. That is the move. And BYUN has to cancel it. That's a good trade. He could maybe have grabbed that SCV as well on the way out, but I think that was kind of the safe way to do it there. Don't throw your lings away, because you can see there's quite a few units out here. Okie dokie. Marine's going to be pushing the Overlord back. Third hatchery not getting droned because we've already got 2 gas roaches. Oh, it's a setup for a Ravager Ling cheese. The Lings are meant to keep him distracted so the Ravager Ling can get in. And look at that. He's going to get the SCVs. He gets the Hellion on the outside, gets 2 SCVs, and this pulls BYUN's attention home. Can the roaches sneak out is the question. I don't think they can. Lings are targeting the command center, but I think the Hellion saved the day. I think the Hellion saved the day. It's got too many hit points. The Lings are going to have to go for it. Does BYUN see the roaches? Does he see the roaches is the big question. They've just slipped by to the left, but he should see them. He definitely sees them now. He's got a tank and a lib on the way. I think he realizes Cham is trying to chase. I love that Cham's trying this build. Unfortunately, guys, gets across one side really quickly. Look how fast they are, but the moment they've got to push against the current, or if you morph Ravagers, they stop moving and they get pushed back. No, you're gonna go out the right side if you want to dodge, but it doesn't actually take that long. It's worth pushing through, guys. It is worth pushing through, but he gave up on it. He gave up on pushing through the current. To be honest, he wasn't going to get damage done anyway. It's not a slow zone, it's a current. It pushes units that way, and the other side pushes them this way, which is why they get sped up going south from that side, and then basically you get pushed into the middle from both sides. Yeah, this is Storm Surge, aka Storm Push. It's very, very... the moment I saw this map, I requested that feature, and I'm so glad that the guy who made the map, Killer Smile, is actually the person who invented the push mechanic back on the old water slide map, Hidden Resort, many years ago. Created the triggers for that in the editor back in the day. Alright, rocks are going to go down. Cham's going to try and bust this. Needs to get big damage. There's not many Hellions, but that tank on the high ground, a bunker, and another tank. It's a really good defense here for BYUN. Perhaps there was a transition if Cham went for the macro game, but as it is, he has to win right here, right now. Cleans up a lot of units, does get the bunker down. There's another bunker, there's a lid. 2 bunkers about to finish. If the Marines can get inside the bunker, that'd be good, but he's not really got any in the bunkers right now, which means they're not taking aggro. Cham is really making a play of this. I thought with this spotted as early as it was, there was no way. And yeah, BYUN is taking a fair bit of damage. I still think Cham's in a terrible spot. He's got to focus those. If he got rid of the eBays with his Zerglings now before both upgrades finished, I think there'd be a legit chance for a transition. But with 1-1 kicking in, he's going to find himself deep in Dicktown very, very soon. Oh, goes for them a bit too late. They're going to finish. They're barely... If he went for it earlier, maybe... Look at that. +1 finishes on the left. Armor's about to finish on the right one. Ah, that's so, so good for BYUN and very unfortunate for Cham. Stim's not done yet, but when it does kick in and you got Medevac, Stim Marines with 1-1, you'll be in a pretty good spot. He's got to get rid of these Ravagers, though. He's going to pull the SCVs back. Going to watch out for the Biles. The Ravagers, I think they know they're on a one-way trip, but he missed one of the Biles, I believe. Liberator survives with 60 hit points. I mean, good play of it. Cham got some damage. Problem, bad creep spread. Almost no queens. Only 3 queens. And his upgrades have just now started whilst 1-1 is finished for Terran. Now, to be fair, BYUN can't afford to rebuild straight away. He's making an armory, but he's going to have to rebuild his engineering base from scratch. And it will give some time for Cham to catch up. I think this is a playable position, but one where if BYUN goes and sends the Lib in from the natural, Marine drop on the north, I think it's very hard to kind of keep pace with this as Cham, because the harassment's going to be very annoying. But we'll see how he deals with it. With only 3 queens, no spores, he's very limited on his utility. He puts a new creep tumor down there. He does cancel. That was a second Bane nest that he was building. Yeah, he could have pushed up the river, guys. I just don't think he had a lot of experience on this map, but I think it would have been faster than breaking the rocks significantly. It is what it is. CHAM gonna get some good damage. Oh, dude, that Lib has 21 kills. Mostly Lings. Finally does go down. Didn't get many drones, thankfully. It's the only one drone went down. Mostly mining time. CHAM shuts down the counter pressure. BYUN knows he needs more. He's got to distract with the drop, and then these Marines will try to stim in and snipe the hatchery. But if the creep spots this, that's big. Oh, he goes left. BYUN very cleverly avoiding the creep. If he can snipe this hatchery, he's good. There's a lot of Roach Ravager Ling there. CHAM's trying to make more army. This is the most important point in this game. If CHAM can defend this base, he's good. But right now, he's down 2 upgrades for another 20 seconds. He is in position, and I think that's good enough. I think CHAM's in position. Yeah, look at that. BYUN's going to grab 2 drones, 3 drones, and leave. Good hold. Really good hold. Now, CHAM's economy is not that great, but he is going Tunneling Claws. Funnily enough, without Burrow, Tunneling Claws is not a useful upgrade, guys. That's like buying a spoiler for your car, but you don't own a car, essentially. It's very cool, though, when people come over and you've got a spoiler for a car hanging on the side of your bedroom. And they go, what's that? And you're like, it's a spoiler. And you go, okay, what's it for? And they're like, my car. I'm going to buy it one day and stick this on it. And you go, that is weird decision making, man. That's odd decision making, but he does cancel it. Might have been a misclick. Everyone knows if you have a spoiler in your car, it's pretty cool as well, guys. Because your car was definitely in danger of lifting off because you're going to drive that fast. That's how it works, man. Gotta stop your car from lifting off when you're driving. 6 spoiler, bro. 6 spoiler. 4th command center is building. This game's going to go to late game. Late game on this map. Pretty good base layout for these two. And then this ramp's kind of hard to attack into. I think it probably favors Terran a little bit. Because then you can creep out to these two. Even though they get a bit further away. I think it's probably good for Terran. I think the base layout's probably a little Terran favored. But it's not like crazy favored. CHAM looks pretty comfy here. You're not wrong, guys. CHAM's all in as well. He's kind of wants BYUN to attack him. He's trying to make it look more like a macro game than it is. He's pulled workers off his back bases to make his front base look a little more saturated. I would have loved if he had another 6 or 7 workers here and a gas. I think that would have been even better. Because he's going all in. He's going to go. He's going to push. He's not going to wait for anything else. He's like, you know what? You've got 3 drops on the map. I'm going to shove. He knows they're going to do big damage. They're going to wreck him. But he's just trying to gather. BYUN has no idea. You got to leave something at home. And it's just going to be his rally. Let's see how well CHAM rallies units to defend this. He's going to lose +2 carapace. Oh, God. Bit too overeager on his attack. Does lose +2 carapace. I mean, he was always planning to hit before then anyway. That means right now, though, there's a double upgrade advantage to Terran. And not just that. Look at this defensive wedge. The tank's on the high ground. They're so far back. He just lifts the 3rd, runs away with the SCVs. The bio-tank mine spread is absolutely monumental. And CHAM just cannot get in there. Completely all in. Was not expecting such a safe defensive setup. You could see the way BYUN was like, I need to just be mega safe. We know this guy likes to hit big all-ins and mid-game timings. Great play, though, and a great series from both sides. That was awesome. GG, well played.